is Ash. I'm here to talk to you about your beautiful new Reflection fifth wheel. Come on up here, we're going to show you a few features on your unit. In the front cubby hole here, you'll find your two 6-volt batteries. Remembering that we want to check those on a regular basis, maybe start every 2-3 months, checking the water level. You use distilled water to top them up. If you do that, you have no problems. Vent here for ventilation for your batteries. Solar plug-in. Traffic going by. In here you've got your propane. You have one 30-pound tank on each side. We recommend that you run with one open, one closed. At the moment, I'm running this one open, turning clockwise or counterclockwise to open. Your indicator lever right there pointing towards this side, telling you that I'm using this one currently. When it's empty, lock it off, flick the switch, go to the other side, open the other unit. That'll give you trouble-free propane operation. In here we have our water closet, if you will. There's a great diagram here that helps you to figure out which way you want to set it if you need to winterize or if you're going to go on a holiday or anything like that. At the moment we have it set up for you for city water, so all these levers are in the right position. City water is going to go here. In your kit that you've purchased, you will have a 90-degree fitting that goes there, hose through the hole in the bottom, comes back out. Water pressure regulator, which is included in your kit, goes on the other end of the hose. That'll keep your water all nice. When you're flushing, you've got a black flush connection here, your pull for your black and your gray right here to go along with your connection underneath for draining your tank. Now you don't want to ever leave the black open all the time. You always want to keep the black closed. Dump it when it is full, following with the gray. I will show you the other gray in a moment or two, which is near the back, which is for your galley. Otherwise in here you've got all your cable connections, water pump switch, which you may not use because you're on city water. Other than that, this is pretty much everything you need to know in there. Here we have your hot water tank. This tank has no anode rod in it. Your drain is on this side. If you're ever going to drain it for some reason, you want to make sure you do the pressure relief valve first to relieve the pressure. Then you can take out the plug, let the water tank drain if you need to drain it for some reason. Like again, if you go from holiday and you want to winterize it. Other than that, your switches for powering this up are all inside the unit. We'll show you those in a few minutes. Output for your furnace gets hot. Just keep that in mind if you're ever near it when it's running. Here's your primary connection for your 50 amp service. We've got it hooked up with a dog bone currently because we're running 30 amp. Not sure what you're going to have where you're at, but you do have your own adapter included so that you can hook it up in whatever manner that you need to. That's just a push and twist lock. Sewer storage hose, but I believe you're going to do a permanent hookup. This is your, so I can't get it off. There you go. There's your hookup there, and all the necessary attachments are in your kit that you have purchased with your unit.
Low point drains are below there too, Ash.
There we are, hiding way at the back there where I can't see them. That's the lowest point in your trailer, so if you ever need to drain all the lines, primarily again for winterizing like we've touched on before. So only really if you went for a holiday during the winter time. Slide, good idea to use a slide treatment on the rubber on the outside to help keep it supple. It's just like arm rolling your tires. You do that once or twice a year. Dry lube, silicone on moving parts underneath the slide. It's a good idea to do. You do have toppers on top, which are great for keeping debris off, but when you do put the slide in, it's a good idea to look up there to make sure the wind hasn't deposited some pine cones and things that could cause you some grief. So that's a good way to do it. The other thing you want to do, we're talking about the seals. All your regular seals on your trailer need to be checked, say every 6 months. You're going to want to inspect the entire trailer visually. Also use your fingers, looking for areas where the seals may be chipping off or breaking apart. And then I would take lots of photos so that you have them as a reference point so you can track any change in the seals, because it's going to be a lot cheaper for you to maintain them than to pay for repairs. Always a good thing to do. At the back of your trailer, you have your galley output for your holding tank for your galley. It's got its own separate release here. Now, ideally, if you're hooking it up with all the attachments that you purchased, the galley one could stay open all the time into your hose system. You've got 2 hoses and a Y and so forth that have come with it. And then that way it's just going to always just continue to drain. The other one is more important for keeping that black one clean, closed. So that's your connection there, quite easy to use. We can get a little shot of the gears back there. That's where you'd want to keep your silicone lube. Just a good idea to keep on top of that a couple times a year. You do have a ladder, so we know you have a walk-on roof. You can get up there, give that a sweep periodically, check it. Also, you're going to be checking those seals twice a year anyway, so you've got the ladder, perfect time to do that. Fridge vent. You have a lower fridge vent, upper fridge vent. That's allow ventilation to go through to keep your fridge operating correctly. You'll want to open this a couple times a year, mainly looking for debris, possibly nests from rodents or bugs, things like that. Other than that, there's really nothing required for you to do in there. And you've also got a connection here for your spray port. There's one of those as you saw in the water closet at the front. That brings us full circle. We're going to go inside and look at the key features inside the trailer. As you see, guys here are busy making it look pretty for you. Oh yeah!
Steve, it can't get no fun here at all.
No fun at all. Guys trying to hose us down. Awesome. I'm going to close the door so we don't get wet. There we go. Now this is all your controls for your trailer. Up here you'll find your display panel. So if I press the first button, you'll see that the battery's charged and or charging. Fresh water, we have a bit in your holding tank. All your storage tanks currently have water in them because we were doing a flood test. Those will be drained before we deliver it. Here you find your awning control. It's strictly a momentary contact. You hold it till the awning goes out. Hold it, bring it awning back in. You don't want to leave the awning out when you're unattended, like when you go to work, or if it gets pretty stormy out. It will deal with a fair bit of rain, especially if you angle one side down, but the wind, it's not going to be happy. Primary switch here for your ceiling lights. Then you have a step light, water pump, which matches the switch on the outside. Again, you probably won't use that. Here's your electric switch for your hot water tank and your gas switch for your hot water tank. You can run either or both, depending on the recovery that you need. You have very good recovery when you run both on this unit. You'll recover that tank in about 20 minutes. It's pretty impressive. Awning light and a porch light. Pretty self-explanatory. Slide controls, once you're set up and out, you probably won't be touching them very often unless you go on a holiday. Again, like the awning control, you're going to hold these down until it reaches a full cycle. Other than that, there's not much for you to know inside there. Up beside us here, we have a control for your fan in the kitchen. So the first thing you would do is open the vent. Once the vent's open, then you can choose the speed of the fan that you want. Then you can turn it off, leave the vent open if you like, and then you've also got a button here to close it. Very simple to use. If we can get a shot of the thermostat here, Colin. Wake it up is the first thing you do, press the button. Again, we cycle to fan control, cycle to air conditioning, cycle to furnace, and then back to off. The thing to remember with this unit is when you press the button, is give it a moment or so to recognize what you've asked it to do. And when you turn the furnace on, same with the air conditioner, it's a good idea to let it warm up and run for a few minutes before you start adjusting the temperature, because they tend to get a little confused if you try to do too many controls too quickly. Here we have another light in the foyer here. If we back up a bit more, we're going to go into your bedroom. Not a lot to show you in here, but we're going to take a shortcut into the bathroom. In the ceiling, you do have just a vent without a fan, just a manual crank. You have a smoke detector on the ceiling. Good idea to check that periodically. Other than that, you've got your spare chairs for your dinette and whatnot. Through in here to your bathroom. You've you've got your GFI plug there. We will find the one with the actual switch on it shortly. It should be somewhere else in the trailer. You've got your shower, sliding doors. Little rubber thing is for travel. You can probably take that off if you're going to be permanently in it, if you don't like it there. Porcelain toilet, foot flush. Push it down. It's very straightforward. Not a lot of water goes through there. This is where you're going to add your chemical that you should put in every time you flush your black tank. So after you've emptied the tank, put a few more gallons of water in it, then put your 4 or 5 ounces of Zyme, which again is included in your kit that I see that you've purchased, that's in the front of the unit for you. From there, we're going to go back down into your kitchen area. Stove, we've got 3 burner. It's very straightforward to light. We're going to take the control, turn it to the flame, hit the sparker, and as you can see, well, I didn't hold it long enough. Always got to let it establish the flame, and then you can turn it to get the setting that you want. Very, very straightforward. Oven will light in the same manner. So it's quite straightforward to light the oven as well. Got a timer here. Turn it to the flame, hit the spark, and away you go. From there, exhaust fan up above your stove. Your controls are on the microwave. That is a household microwave, and the light switch is also on there for your exhaust fan and your light on and off. Behind me we have our refrigerator. I have it currently on. We have it in the auto mode. The controls for doing that are right here at the top of the freezer. I recommend that you leave it in the auto mode. It's just a simpler way to do it so that when you turn it on, the fridge detects the outside power and will then switch to electricity. If your power fails, it'll automatically switch over to propane, keep your food cold, which is kind of nice. So it's a great safety feature that most homes don't have. So that's kind of great. From there, your sink. Straightforward.
Ash, sorry to just quickly jump in, but the sparker for the stove and oven is separate. They are considered 2 separate appliances, so we do have to light the oven in a different manner. So it has the sparker in here, not up there.
I stand corrected.
Just for clarification.
And that also activates the light, which is kind of cool. From there, we should, if we come around the end here, we can point out your carbon monoxide and propane detector, which is down at the bottom. We saw the smoke detector at the other end, up on your roof. There's probably another one in this side, or not. Sometimes they have 2, but we just, oh, it's right up there by the front door. So I thought there'd be a second one. Fireplace is pretty straightforward. On, off. Pretty obvious that everything's working all great for you there. From there, everything else looks pretty straightforward. You've got your yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. So if you have any questions, I'm in the store Tuesday to Saturday. You dial the main number, and most of the time I'll answer the phone, and I'll be able to answer any questions you might have. We've also got some great stuff on Arbutus' YouTube channel, a couple other videos, and some great tips for you there as well.